YouTube? I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Ancestry from Calliope Games. This is for 2 to 6 players, ages 8 plus. It'll take about 20 minutes to play. And Ancestry, designed by Eric Lang, ooh la la, is a very simple drafting game. It is a filler weight drafting game in which you are going to have a handful of tiles, and you are going to pick one of those tiles and pass the rest, and you're going to rinse, wash, repeat, do it over and over again with the hopes of having the best family lineage, gaining coins, gaining hearts, and getting the most points for having the longest generation chains of different colors. What am I talking about? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Ancestry. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule booklet. 14 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. I don't like the font they chose, oddly enough, but it is readable, and it's a pretty well done rule booklet that should have you up and running in no time at all. It's also an incredibly simple game, so I can teach you how to play right now. So in Ancestry, you're going to be playing over the course of 3 rounds, building your family tree, trying to get the most points. You're going to get points by having coins at the end of the game, which will be worth flat victory points, so 4 coins, 4 victory points. You'll also be getting points for how many hearts you're able to create, which will make more sense once I show you these tiles up here. And the more hearts you get, the more points you get, kind of how stuff works. And then also for having the longest generation of particular families. And I'll show you how that works in a minute, so we'll come back to that. We're going to do it over the course of 3 rounds. Whoever has the most points, you guessed it, is going to win, unlike golf. So let's take a look at the tiles. And the tiles are going to look very similar. They are going to have hearts on some of them, like so. Some will have hearts. Some will not have hearts. Some will have coins, like this one right here, and these are how you're going to gain the coins. And the rest of them will have leaves. So you're going to have coins, hearts, leaves, and the color around the outside are the important things that you need to pay attention to. And let's just go ahead and show you how the game is played, because it is a dirt simple game. So when you first start, you're going to draw 6 tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is a drafting game. So you're going to look at your 6 tiles, and you're going to keep one, then pass the rest to the right or left, depending on which round you are. So let's take a look at this. Right now, I'm kind of looking for 2 coins. I'm not seeing 2 coins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one. This one looks like a nice one. It's got a heart right there, and it's got a coin right there. So I place that down, face down in front of me, pass everything over here. Then someone else is going to pass 5 to me. So we'll just grab these 5 right here. Then we're all going to reveal at the same time and place it. So when you first start, it's just going to go down here. But every corresponding round, you have to connect to a tile that you have out there, either with a heart or with a leaf. And the leaves are light green and dark green. So let's take a look at what I got next. So this one's got a lot of connections, which is great. But you know what? I'm trying to go for points. Apparently we didn't shuffle too well after this game. So look, this one's pretty nice. It gives me a heart. It gives me a coin. Or I could play this one. That's going to allow me to complete the heart. So you know what? I might play this one right here. So I put it face down in front of me. Once again, pass it over here. Somebody's going to pass 4 to me. And then we all flip over and place. So here's how placement works. So I could place it like this to complete this light green leaf, and that would be completely legal. I could place it like this to complete the dark green leaf. That would be completely legal as well. Or I could place it right here to do the heart. So you know what? I'll just go right here. I'll complete the heart, because at the end of the game, that's going to get me 1 point. And the more I get, the more points I will get. So let's do it again. This time I'm getting 4 tiles. So let's see what I got right here. I kind of want to stick with the money. I'm digging the money. So you know what? I'm going to go like this. So I'll go, actually I'm trying to get a specific example. I'll go like this. We'll just fast forward a little bit. Then I'm going to pass. I'll get 3 tiles this time, see what I get. Perfect. That one will go right there. Pass it over here. Get 2 tiles. Once you have 2 tiles, you're going to keep 1 and discard the other one. So you're only going to be playing 5. Will this allow me to do my example? Yeah, we'll make it work. So let's say we do that right there. So I played 5 tiles. It's the end of the round, and now we're going to see how the scoring works for the end of this round. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get the same number of coins as you have out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 coins. That's a great start. So I'm going to get $5. The cards, the tiles have either 0, 1, or 2 coins in them. So I place it right here. I have 5 coins, and each and every round I'm going to get 5 coins. So putting out coins early is a great way to score points. You don't score any points for hearts. That is all endgame stuff, so we don't worry about the hearts. But now we come over here to this track right here, the generation track. And how this works is the person that has the longest generation, the longest family tree of a particular color is going to win that. And you go against the person to your left and the person to your right. So think of Warfare and Seven Wonders if you've played that. So for me personally, I would look first at yellow. I don't have any yellow, which means if the player on my right or the player on my left has yellow, then they are immediately going to get one of these, and that's worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. This one, you guessed it, is worth 2 victory points at the end of the game at the second round, and in the third round, it's worth 3 victory points. So that's how that works. You can win 2 of those each time if you beat the person. So let's take a look at me. For me, I have nothing on yellow, so I'm not going to get anything for yellow. For blue, I do have 1, which means that if neither of the other players have blue, I would be able to get it. So let's just pretend that I'm going to get 1 for the blue, and the other person over here has 1. So we tied, which means that neither of us gets 1. Now, let's get to gray. And this is really going to show you how the family tree works. So for gray, I don't have 3, despite the fact I have 3 gray tiles. I actually have 2, because it only counts what's directly connected. So I have 1, 2. So my gray would be at a 2 statistic, which would most likely get me 2 right here. I have 1 on purple, so we'll just say that gets me a 1, and I have nothing on red. So after the first round, this is probably what my board would look like. I would have 5 on coins, I'd have 4 up here, and then we're going to rinse, wash, and repeat, except this time, instead of passing to the right, we're going to pass to the left. Now let me show you another example that I was trying to set up right here. So next, let's just say I decide to play this one. I pass everything, move on. Now, I can play this a number of places, but I want to point out that I can play it right here, because you don't have to match up everything. So as you can see, that heart does not match, and that's perfectly fine. You have to match a leaf or a heart. You don't have to match everything on the tile. I also want to point out one more thing right here. So let's say I put this right here. So now let's take a look at my gray. My gray is still, when it comes to this track right here, a 3. It's not a 4, despite the fact there's 4 that's connected. It's how high it is vertically. So 1, 2, 3. It's 3 vertically, even though there is a 4th one right here. Anywho, you're going to continue to do this over the course of 3 rounds, getting more and more points, hopefully, each round. And whoever has the most points at the end of the 3rd round will be the winner of Ancestry. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alright then, Ancestry from Calliope Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, it is a very light, simple game, which is going to be a turn-off for some people. It's 20 minutes. It says 20 minutes on the box. That's just about right, which is a big pro for most people. But if you're hoping for something meatier, this one might not be for you. This is not your typical Eric Lang fare. Now, I'll talk more about that in the pros, but this is definitely something that's going to be on the lighter side. This is more of a family weight game. This is more of a lightweight filler game, maybe an end of a night game after playing a brain banner kind of game, because this is a very simple game. Most of the time, you have choices that you're going to make, but the choices are relatively simple. At least I felt that way. Another comment I have with the game is that the theme is pretty dry. It does just enough. Like, the theme kind of works. It's like, oh yeah, there's the colors, and that's your family tree, and that's interesting, but for the most part, the theme does feel pasted on. This easily could have been just about any other theme. I really think if they would have sat down and thought about it for about 30 minutes, they probably could have thought of another theme on the fly. It's mostly about the mechanisms in this game. I also was not a fan of the artwork at all. I do not like the artwork. That's obviously a your mileage may vary kind of thing, but another comment about this game is that, for me personally, drafting game-wise, while I'm going to go and tell you that I think this is a good game, I don't know, there's just a lot of other drafting games that I would rather play. And while some of them do bump up the complexity a little bit, like your Seven Wonders, and Sushi Go, I'd say is about the same playing field complexity-wise as this, I feel like I like those games better, and I would grab those games before I would grab this game. But that is just me, because moving on to the pros, because pretty much there's not too many cons, too many holes to poke in this game. It has a good player count at 2 to 6 players. I thought it played pretty decently at 2. I liked it at 5 and 6 players. It still played good at those higher player counts. It's easy to learn. It's easy to teach. And the biggest thing is, and I had 2 different people say this to me, the game just does just enough to keep me interested. Because, I don't know, if this was just a teeny bit lighter, I wouldn't like this game at all. I really do think that if there was just one little element that was taken out of this game and made it just a little bit more simple, I would not be there. But each time you draft, there's some interesting choices to make. All right, I can put this here, and I can get the heart, I can put it up here and try and set myself up to make my family tree longer in the future. There's just enough in this game to keep me interested, which is good. So I like this as a family game. I do. I like this as a lightweight filler game, either at the beginning of the night, the middle of the night. I think this is a good gateway game. I think this is easily a game you can teach to just about anybody because the concepts are super simple. I like drafting, so if you like drafting, you like lightweight games, I think this is one you're going to like. And the biggest pro that I can say for this game, and this is kind of a weird one, is that, well, I think this is a good game. I do. I think this is a good game. It's a borderline keeper game. I don't know if I'm going to keep it yet. It probably depends on how the kids in my class react to it. I played it once with the kids in my class, and they were like, yeah, it's okay. I kind of dig this. And they wanted to play it again, so I'll probably base that on how well they like it on the second time. But the adults that I played it with, most of them said, wow, I was not expecting to like this game as much as I like this game after the rules explanation, because it does sound really, really simple. And I think that the most of the people that I played this with like this game a little bit better than me. And like I said, I don't think this is a bad game. I think this is a good game. I don't even think it's a mediocre, an okay game. I think this is a good game. And if you like drafting, if you like really simple games, because definitely this is gateway complexity, I think I can recommend you check out Ancestry. But if you're not in the market for a filler weight game, if you do not like drafting games, if you're looking for a little bit more meat on the bones, I don't think this one is going to be for you. But if you are, plays up to 6 players, plays it well, easy to learn, easy to teach, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, definitely you're not probably going to go over that. Components are nice. Didn't like the artwork, but the components are perfectly serviceable. That is Ancestry from Calliope Games. Well, then I think it's a good game, and I think most people are going to like slightly better than I like, which might bump it into great for you. Who knows? So that is Ancestry from Calliope Games. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, what's the coolest part of your lineage? For me personally, I went to the library once and I tried to find out my lineage, because I did want to know more about it until I realized how difficult it can be to find it or how much you have to pay for someone else to find it. I guess I think the coolest thing that I would possibly say is that my grandpa, Forrest Dalebauer, because we all have Forrest names. My dad's name is Forrest Glenbauer. My son's name is Forrest Sean Bauer. My grandpa's name is Forrest Dalebauer. He was a Green Beret, so that's pretty stinking cool. And I think he fought in a war. I don't think it was World War II. He wasn't old enough for that, but he fought in a war. He was a Green Beret, so that's pretty stinking awesome. But let me know in the comments below, what's the coolest thing about your family lineage? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Lineage. There, I got it.